This is Jill, tell you about architecture. Architecture is the profession of designing buildings, open areas, communities, and other artificial constructions and environments, usually with some regard to aesthetic effect. Architecture often includes design or selection of furnishings and decorations, supervision of construction work, and the examination, restoration, and remodeling of existing buildings. I chose my cousin Brandon because he's an architect in the making. He goes to Auburn University, which is a great architect school. He's learning architecture. Hello, world. This is Giovanni, cousin Brandon, the architect man. Tell you a little bit about him. Let's find out what architecture is all about. What made you get into architecture? Sure.
Well, when I was little, I used to play with Legos a lot with my sister, and we used to build buildings and stuff, and I guess that's what got me into building construction stuff.
Cool. What kind of degree do you need in order to become an architect?
Well, to become an architect, you gotta go to school, like a 5-year program to get an architecture a bachelor in architecture, and after that, you have to take a test to get licensed to become an architect.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. What kind of math is needed in order to become an architect?
Well, to become an architect, I've had a couple professors that said one thing you don't need math in to be an architect, and I had another one say that architecture is all about math, and so I've come to the conclusion that you need both, because architecture is considered an art and a science, and the science part is where you come in with the math. You need physics, and you need calculus, you need trigonometry to deal with your designs and to figure out.
Did you get that? Math is not always needed. Take it in. Describe how architecture math is related. Go more into detail.
Well, when you come up with the design, you might need some. In your design, you might have these intricate design patterns or these intricate shapes that you're gonna have to come up with, and you're gonna have to think of the shapes and the angles are the hardest part. So you're gonna need a lot of trigonometry and maybe some calculus to figure these out. In my first year of architecture, I've used some math. You have to have an idea of scale when you walk into a space. You have to have an idea of like how big a human being is compared to the area around them, and what makes them comfortable and what makes them uncomfortable. If you have, say, you have a kitchen that's too small, people feel uncomfortable and it's kind of crappy to be in there.
Yeah.
But if it's too big, then you're like, oh, where do I stand? I don't know where to go. I gotta go all the way over here just to wash my hands. I gotta go all the way over here to get my cups. I gotta go all the way over here.
So everything's got to be reachable, but yet it's still spacious.
You gotta have an idea of scale.
Nice. What kind of math are you using the majority of the time as becoming an architect, like professionally?
I haven't figured that out yet because I've only gone through my first year, but from what I've seen throughout the school of upper years, they have these, it seems like a bunch of geometry and some trigonometry, figuring out angles and stuff like that.
Nice. I'm in geometry. Honors. Yes, honors. What makes architecture interesting?
I like the detail involved in it, the amount of thought that you have to put into a design.
The breathtaking experience you see.
Yeah. And the amount of thought that an architect has to go through, but the average individual who experiences this space might not think about.
So, my last question. What classes did you take in order to become an architect?
Well, I started in high school, and I took a drafting class for 3 years that it kind of developed my,
Knowledge.
my graphic hand and my knowledge of architecture. And then I took physics, which was a really bad idea in high school. Did really bad in that class. And then, I took a lot of math. I took all 4 years of high school. I had math. I took trig. I took geometry. I took calculus, honors calculus, AP.
Ew.
Algebra.
See the drawings in the back? Did those in high school. You dig. And why don't you just tell me a little bit about this?
This was my final project and that I did my first year, just last fall semester. It's a grocery store that's supposed to be designed for a small urban town community. It's supposed to, the town was a population of about 4,000. Our requirements were to design a grocery store and make it a accommodate the people of the town. I made this kind of modular design with solar panels on the front to make it more green design, environmentally friendly, and it's all about structure and light.
Sweet. And we're out.